Right, hello there. So, what we're going to look at today is how we can actually use ratios. First of all, let's do a quick kind of basic rundown of what ratios are again. Okay? So, the idea of a ratio is to compare one part with another. So, for example, if I was to compare the reds to the green dots here, the ratio would be 2:4. 2 green for every 4 red. Now, of course, with ratios, you must, and this is very important, you must put them into their lowest whole number ratio. So you divide across by the highest common factor. In this case, it's 2. So that's 1 is to 2. So what you will notice is a number of things. First of all, ratios must never be fractions or decimals. They must be whole numbers. That's what makes them ratios, because you're just comparing one part to another part from a given set of something, okay, or collection. Secondly, they must always be in their lowest possible form. That is not the answer. This is. Thirdly, the sum of the ratios, okay, the sum of the ratios will have a relationship with the total number in the set or the collection that you're talking about. Now, if the ratio is in its lowest possible form, then the sum of the ratio is a factor of the number of elements in the set or collection. So, for example, I have 6 dots. If I add 1 and 2, I get 3. 3 is a factor of 6. Okay? Even in their, before I made them into their lowest ratios, 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 is a factor of 6. Okay? So, it's a handy little thing. Most of the times, it'll give you an indication of what the total is. So you can always check your total against this little trick. A lot of the times it is the total, but most of the times it's a factor of the total, but it gives you an indication of what the total should be. It's a factor of that number. Okay? So that's just a little quick review of what we were doing. Like anything else, this is all about how we're going to use them. So the beauty of ratios is you can turn them into what's called proportions. So just to give you an example. John and Sam share €100 of Bitcoin in a ratio of 2:3. Okay? So that means that for every 2 bits of €100 of Bitcoin that John gets, Sam will get 3. So we could actually split it up. We could get €100 coins, give 2 to John, 3 to Sam, then give the next 2 to John, the next 3 to Sam, and do that until we have no more coins left. Okay? And then we would have separated them out. Now that could take a long time, so there must be an easier way of doing that. And of course there is. You look at the ratio. First of all, you check it's in its lowest whole number form. You add the numbers. Then you put each ratio over that number. And what you've done is, now you have the proportion of the €100 that each gets. So John will get 2/5 of the €100. Sam will get 3/5 of the €100. And obviously 2/5 plus 3/5 is 5/5. That's the total amount that's possible. Okay? Because you can't have more than a whole fraction when you're talking if the whole fraction represents €100. So how do we work this out? Well, we've done this before. 2/5 of €100 is divided by the bottom, multiplied by the top. Is €40. And 3/5 of €100 is obviously €60. Don't want to do that. We have our calculator. 100 multiplied by 2/5. And you can do the same for the other one. Okay, so that's the idea behind these. So, have a look at another one. Right. Mixed school. The ratio of boys to girls is 6:5. That means for every 6 boys, there's 5 girls. Okay? If there are 325 girls, what I want to know is find the number of boys and the total enrollment. That means boys and girls. So, how am I going to do it? Right, let's work out. 6:5. Well, let's add them up. 6 plus 5 is 11. So there are 6/11 as a proportion compared to 5/11 as a proportion of girls. And we know how many girls there are, don't we? 5/11, which is the girls, is equal to 325. I'm trying to go ahead in my head. So I want to know, first of all, what 1/11 is. Because if I know what 1/11, it's easy to find 6/11s, and obviously then it's also easy to find the total, which would be 11s. So 6/11s and then 11/11s. So let's find 1/11. So how would I find it? Well, that's 5 11s are in there. I want 1/11, so I must divide by 5. So that's 325/5, which is 325 divided by 5, 65. That means that 6 11s is 6 of them, 390, which means 11 11s is 11 of them, 715 pupils. And boys. And that's girls. So that's how we can use it fairly efficiently to find out loads of information about something. Okay? So, I want you to give a few of these a go, see how you get on.